Welcome to Open Comms Radio, your Star Citizen call-in show, running every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm your host for this evening, DukeLetoII. Jar Jar is away filming I believe it was the pornographic adaptation of Pride and Prejudice. But joining me here tonight with my co-host is Cosmic Hopo.
Hi, that's me,
Yeah,
Cosmic Oboe.
the one and only. He loves towels. He loves traveling the stars and hanging out on couches, which we happen to have a couch. For those of you who don't know,
I Febrezed it
this is
before everyone got here.
thank
Clean,
that's very good because the
wi-
couch
wiped it
gets
down.
a lot of use and it needs that wiped down. This is a call-in show, so you feel free to call in. Join us on Discord. If you are hanging out in Discord and you want to speak, all you have to do is raise your hand, and we'll call you up to the couch. And we usually, Hobo, how do we get people to talk again? What do we do?
Ah, so if you join the Discord and join the OpenCons live stage, at the bottom there's a little hand thing, and if you click the hand thing, then it will put your hand up, and then we can bring you onto the stage.
There you go. Just click the
But
hand thing.
what's our question for tonight?
Our question for this evening is, do alien lives matter?
Hmm.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a real philosophical night, I'm sure. People will ask many questions about what is life, what is um, what do we consider alive? Was another one that was
Mhm,
a
mhm.
commenter elsewhere brought up. So we can have all sorts of a philosophical discussion tonight. And oh, look, we have someone in our stream chat. It's a bot. Um, I wonder if that bot's alive.
Loves Matt 957. No, I don't think they are. I don't think they are.
Shame.
It is a shame. I looking forward to tonight. I'm not expecting a lot of philosophical discussions. I'm expecting
No.
some Xeno hate, some Xeno love. Um,
Oh,
maybe
do you have such a low
I
opinion of our
well,
guest?
it's listen. It's not a low opinion. It's scientific information which I've gathered over years now of watching the Star Citizen community. Um, so I think like I say, we'll probably hear some things about maybe missions with aliens or new ships that might be coming up, or just how some people hate trading with some guy in the verse. But philosophical questions, I don't know. I'm not going to put my money there. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like we go off topic enough that it'll or on topic. I mean, maybe we can stay on topic tonight, right? Like, I mean,
Maybe.
you, you,
I mean,
you
usually,
think?
usually that Jar Jar keeps us on topic. I'm usually here to kind of just screw with that
Does he?
every once in a while.
Does he though?
I, he, I, he does. I'll give it to him. He does a pretty good job. If I recall, he has um, his notifications set on his phone for like every 3 minutes, and it just pops up and says Jar Jar back on topic. So he gets that little notification, and then he's
Hmm.
like, all right, I got to turn this back. Um, I'm not that organized. I'm sitting here with a cat. Usually, I'm playing the game while Jar Jar's doing most of the work. Um,
I do usually do that too. I try to focus a little more on nights when I'm hosting, but oftentimes I'll hop in the game when we're doing this, and I'll do like random bounties or something I can just sort of zoom
mhm,
in,
mhm.
shoot the target, fly away, and be like, okay, that was easy, and not hopefully run into a rock or anything. Because like if you suddenly hear me go fuck, it's because I hit a rock or something while I was trying to do something easy that I thought would be easy, and then it was just like, no, you're gonna hit a rock because it popped in, or you pinged
Yeah.
and it was too far and you looked away, or you got distracted by actually
Space boobs.
doing the thing that you're. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of
Yeah.
options.
I tonight I'm gonna be focused because I went to
Yeah,
play, and I saw that degraded status, and I got scared. That's it.
I
I'm not
mean
brave enough to go in there and face the degradation.
the thing with the degradation of the last like couple days on the server, a lot of it's very situational, um, and a lot of it is just you might roll a 0 on your saving throw, kind of
Mhm,
kind of
mhm,
deal,
mhm.
and you might just get screwed. It's been the nature of the servers lately because I believe that from what I've seen and when I've played lately, and when I've seen other people playing lately, for the most part, they're not that bad. The servers are not that bad. They're not great. I will give you that. I will certainly say that there's plenty of issues, and there's certainly a high chance of something going wrong. But
But
this ain't 3.18, folks, where no one could get on and they left the servers literally on
mm,
fire for, what was it, like 3-4 months?
true.
It was
I
painful. I
do
mean,
find it
it
suspicious though that, some of these problems arose, and it seemed to coincide exactly when someone was like, "Hey, I made this app or whatever to show exactly how many people were playing Star Citizen." And then
mm,
things stopped working again, and then you couldn't even see how many people were on your friends server, in your friends list, and that's still that
mhm,
way. And I'm like, "Man, did CIG have an aneurysm because we could see how many players were in there, and they're in there, hammering things with a monkey wrench, just trying to get it all back up and running, but keep their secrets secret."
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's tinfoil talk, I guess.
that's eh. I'm pretty sure it's just they've got most of their devs already running off and working on 4.9, and the like 3 guys they've left behind are trying to fix all of these problems.
Mhm.
So it also, I have had to increasingly agree with the theory that the vast majority of the company is focused on Squadron 42 right now. Like they're back to that. Like I know that wasn't true for, I would say, the last couple years. I think it's been vastly overstated how many resources have been put towards Squadron 42,
Mm.
especially in the last couple years, because we've seen some progress, a lot more, I'd say, than the 2 or 3 years or so before. Like we're seeing progress on the PU,
So you're
but
saying CIG has
I
just been procrastinating all this time?
I
I
I think they've got the split attention. Like there's been a lot went we all know a lot has gone towards Squadron 42. Like a lot of dev time.
But you're
It's a
saying they
big
weren't that
company,
crunched until a year or 2 ago.
right?
So they were going to
Yeah,
frat parties, they were hanging out
yeah.
watching, Donnie Darko late into the night,
Mhm.
and now they're like,
Mhm.
"Shit,
Playing Cards
we"
Against
right,
Humanity
right,
while
"We
drinking,
gotta get
like
this
the
out the
usual stuff,
door, this is, final project time, so now it's time to crunch," and that's what they're doing.
it's a tale as old as time, especially in the video game development world. Like I remember like one of the first behind the scenes for a video game like documentary that I watched was, I think, the Halo 2 one, because it came with the metal box, the special edition or whatever that I got. Um, and it was pretty clear that like they spent like 2 years on that E3 demo, and then they realized they had to release the game in like 9 months. And they were not ready. They Bungie was truly unprepared. Like they spent so much time on that one really cool, admittedly, E3 demo, and then like it hit them afterwards, like, oh shit, we're running out of time, and that's one of the greatest video games of all time. Like that I mean, it's hard to say the Halo series, especially like Halo 2, even though there were clear flaws with it, was a bad game by any means. Like it was a truly genre-defining game, especially since the first game was genre-defining. Like it was impressive,
Mhm.
but it was a, I would say, a similar case that all devs seem to run into these days and have for the last who knows how long ever, that they spend so much time on one thing or another, or they get no time from their publisher to do things, and then they just crunch time. It's just how crunch happens. And yeah, it's a problem. It's absolutely a problem. But
Yeah.
CIG has had a lot of time. Like they have had a ton of time, and Squadron 42 better be kind
Yeah.
of really impressive for all the time they've had on
But
it.
we've all been there sometimes, like I said, you get that project and it's due soon, and you think you get a lot done, and you open up that file, and you see that there's nothing there but a title and maybe an outline with like 3 or 4 bullet points. And I think, I definitely think that CIG reinvented the wheel several times. You go back, you watch all the different videos, and you're like, yes, somebody had to spend a lot of time making this, designing it, thinking about it, and then they were like, we're gonna change the scope of the game now and do something different. So I see what you're
Yeah,
saying about the the crunch time being new. Um, if you're down in the audience and you're listening and you're noticing that you've got some crunch time of your own, just reminder to raise your hand if you're ready to speak, and then we will pull you up. Raising your hand also counts as signing our waiver. So that means that we can put you online, we can ridicule you, make fun of your ideas, maybe make some shorts and send them to your parents. But that's just all part of raising your hand and joining us here on Open Comms Radio. Uh,
but we promise not to turn you into an AI.
uh, we do.
We we maybe promise not
Are
to
you
turn
mean
you
you
into an
promise not to
AI
turn
model.
them into an AI bot, not that we
Them.
won't use AI on them in some way,
Oh,
shape, or form.
I don't know what I am not familiar with the editorial process as much.
Okay.
But
Because I don't know if you know, but
we
murder bots are real. They're out there. They're
mhm.
fully autonomous, and they're coming for you, folks.
Yeah.
But that aside, uh, Hobo, what is your take? Do alien lives matter?
Yeah. And so I the way that CIG has approached aliens has been a lot of telling and not seeing so far. And yes, we have one singular alien character in the game right now. And he is essentially just a floating head
Mhm.
in his hangar. And that's Wicklow. And he has been perhaps already and may remain the most controversial of alien um, characters we ever get. But that has more to do with his turn-in process for his stuff.
Do you think if that turn-in process worked, that it would be as controversial?
I think it works now.
Oh God, it doesn't. Come on. Well, have things changed? The last time I tried to hand in script, it was like the most painful bit of gameplay that I've ever encountered it in Star Citizen.
I would argue that's not a working problem. That's a quality of life issue.
Oh man,
Uh, but so did it take the script? Did it accept the script and did it turn it
no,
into the Wicklow favors?
no.
Okay. Was that because the cargo elevator broke or
I don't even remember. It's been so long since I've tried. Uh,
okay. Well, it's been a lot better from what I've heard. I've not heard anyone like failing to turn anything in a while. So
but would you
your mileage
say
may vary, of course.
that Wicklow adds anything to the game? would it matter if it was a human floating head?
I don't think it would be nearly as interesting if it was a floating human head. Like, I like the
Out of
way that
context.
the I really like the way that that Wickelow's hangar looks and then it's decorated. I like that it looks like it's some sort of retiree, like a Floridian retiree. Like I like those aesthetics. I actually like his showroom and all the stuff in there. I think it's neat.
Okay. I'm just picturing Wicklow driving around in a golf cart in the villages now.
It, yes,
I think that would be
yes.
great.
That I mean, that is how I've always considered him.
Okay.
It looked like we have a caller.
We do have someone
Let's
who
let him in.
would like to come up to the couch. Um, he's been on before. Oop, come on up here. Shveet,
Hello
how you
there.
doing, Shveet?
Doing peachy. So I'm
Peachy,
also
good.
dying from heat. It's 32 degrees outside.
That's freezing.
Yeah, that's so
What are you
cold.
talking about?
It's terrible.
We're still
It's
using
way too hot
freedom
outside.
units
It's
on
gotta
this
it's
trip.
gotta sit around like 15, even colder than that. 0 would be nice.
Well, I'm not so sure we agree on comfortable weather conditions, but Shveet, our question for tonight: do alien lives matter?
I would say yes, but we're also completely valid to despise them if we have to.
Ooh, spicy.
Okay. Hmm.
Wicklow. That
Wicklow.
that that that's all like, and the Vandal. We absolutely despise the Vandal.
Vandal. We can
Yeah,
certainly.
like
I think it's fair to hate on the Vandal for being a existential threat to humanity. I think that's a fair one.
Well, Shveet, how are you interacting with the Vandal so far?
by staying as far away as possible, or if they show up and just like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk right past you, head down, look straight, ignore them. Just kind of like when you're going onto the subway of any description. You don't look at the native wildlife or locals when you're also a local themselves, because there's always the most interesting people there. But if you make any level of eye contact, it's just, oh no, I'm sucked into this. I have to invest in this. They start asking me questions as to, do I like birds? And if I like birds, how do I like them cooked? It's like, oh, I thought we're talking about bird watching, not chicken wings.
I feel like there's a whole story here that we're
There
not
is an
getting.
entire story, but that deviates away from the alien-esque. However, I wonder, if we cut up Wicklow and barbecue him, does he taste like chicken?
The
Those
question
are
on everyone's
He'd
mind.
be kind of crunchy, I imagine.
Really, I kind of pictured him like those Chinese spare ribs, you know, kind of sweet little
uh,
Well, I
things like
mean,
you.
you're gonna need some sauce, I guess.
You gotta have a sauce.
Yeah, I mean that.
All right. Well,
Yeah, it's
we've seen a dissected vandal. I guess the question is, in and amongst the experiments that they were doing, did they did they perfect the recipe for vandal meatballs?
I think that should be a whole Jorit mission chain. We need a whole new area for the mad scientist Jorit and see what he's actually learned.
it.
Like we did not learn much of anything from that storyline about what Jorit actually learned,
I feel like this
especially about the
is.
culinary
I
aspect.
was gonna say this is definitely a Breaking Bad moment where you have Gus as Jorit or Jorit as Gus. He has this entire underground empire of cloning and reviving basically aliens, aka the same guy over and over again, by zapping him alive and then cutting him up and turning him to spare ribs.
So that raises another question of what do our clones taste like?
Is it okay to eat a clone if it's your own clone?
Is it cannibalism? Is it self-cannibalism?
It's auto
These are
cannibalism. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, is it auto
I think they even
cannibalism?
call it that
Like,
if you chew your fingernails. I think that's technically auto cannibalism.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but like we make a
Ugh.
whole new self like out of gel. So does it have the same exact consistency of a human?
Wait, wait, when you say consistency, you're saying once it's been turned into a clone, you're wondering if
Hmm.
the texture of the meat would be the same.
Right.
Hmm.
And there have been stories about what humans taste like. It's similar to pork from what I understand. And that the best
Long
tasting
take.
part is um
let's not go down this road.
so
How did we get here?
it's in the hand.
Shveet, what have you done?
Look,
We
I
were
was
gonna
talking
talk
about
about
alien cooking, not human cooking.
I thought we were gonna talk about
Human cooking,
philosophy.
human
Okay,
cooking.
see what I mean? How you were like, "Oh, I bet you we're gonna have deep philosophical discussions about what is life." Well, I guess you sort of are because if you clone
Yeah,
yourself specifically for meat and you don't, give it the spark of life, does that count?
See, okay.
starvation is
See,
over.
understand, I have seen something like this, and it's usually kind of ends up in a horror story. Mind
I would
you, Made
imagine.
in Abyss isn't exactly a horror story, but they did touch on that subject.
It's pretty horror adjacent, at
It's
least.
horror adjacent. That is probably the best way to put it.
It's,
Because when you
it's
take like
very dark.
spare ribs and you throw it into a cube and then spits out at least part of the living thing that used to be, and it starts crawling towards you. No head, no intestines, and it's alive
Oh
for about
god.
30 seconds. Yeah, it's not exactly the most pleasant of things.
Yeah.
And who's
Okay,
to
so
say, at least us, after being revived by the miracle of Medgel, if we're just not like skin and then kind of on the inside, what's that one old ancient cartoon movie with the
There's a lot.
cells?
give me some
Yeah,
more.
there's a lot of them. The cells that what's it called? It's like a blue cell guy. He thinks he's cool, and there's like a red pill that blasts everything. Immune
Okay,
system.
hold
What's
on.
it
I know
called?
Blue
exactly
cell
what you're
guy,
talking
isn't
about, but
that
you just described it as ancient. It's Osmosis
Thank
Jones.
you. It's Osmosis Jones.
Osmosis
It
Jones?
could very much be that we're just like a massive single cell that just has a human skin on it, and if you
I
get a
want to
paper
point
cut, you
out
just
that you
ooze out.
called Osmosis Jones as ancient.
That
That
came out
movie came out in
right.
2001.
It wasn't even in the 1900s as my kids
What
call
is
it.
a 2001 one? I thought it was earlier
Yeah,
than that.
2001.
Oh no, that's a screaming 2001 movie there. There's a Kid Rock song in that movie. Like it is it is very much a 2000s movie. There is questionable content in that movie.
I mean, granted, that's a lot of the 2000s
William
eras
Shatner's in that
movies.
movie?
Wait, seriously?
Bill, is it? What's
Look,
he doing in there?
he is Mayor Flegminger or whatever it is. Yeah, he plays the mayor,
Bill
apparently.
Murray's in there. Chris Rock.
Wow.
Who?
Brandy. Yeah,
Hmm.
see, there's an early 2000s throwback. Is she dead? If we
Oh,
clone Brandy and bring her back, is that Brandy or is that
The CIG has truly opened up many philosophical questions with their okay, you died, now your existence, we'll call it, is in another body. How does that how huh?
well, Star Trek did that
How does it
decades ago,
know?
right? I mean,
Yeah,
every time you use a transporter, is that you on the other side, or is that just a
yeah,
clone? And
a
did it
clone.
just vaporize you? Did it hurt? What
do
about the
you
human
remember the
soul?
pain?
Right?
I mean, there's another great game by the name of Soma that touches on a similar concept
Soma.
of copying your.
I didn't get very far into
It
Soma.
is a. I won't spoil
I
it.
heard good things.
If you love this topic in terms of like out of uh, out of body experience, so to speak, it is a brilliant game to take a look into.
Okay.
Very much
Alright.
ass.
So aliens.
So, Alien.
How
So
about them
so
aliens?
if CIG adds a mission to the game where you have to go, down to a planet and you need to corral some semi-sentient, self-ambulating chunks of Vandal goo, it is that good gameplay? Has CIG added something for you?
I would start with hopefully the in one form, like in a complete form, Vandal to interact with, and by interact with I mean shoot. I don't think we're going to be interacting with Vandal in any other way, to be honest. And if we have to put down a Vandal blob because it is an abomination and it wants to stab me because they're Vandal and they like sharp things, I'm just imagining like a goo
Osmosis Jones.
crawling towards me
Mhm.
with a knife, and that's
I
like a
I didn't
Vandal
say that it
baby or
had a
something.
knife, but that's on you.
They're Vandal. They love their sharp stuff. It's gonna have a knife. They're just gonna be born with a knife in hand or
Oh, the
appendage.
the shiv that all the bodies have over at what was it, not Hathor, Tech Smuggler.
Yeah, it just comes out of the mechanical womb because some lore on the Vandal
Thanks
is
to
that
Jorah.
they clone. They don't reproduce biologically because they want to make the perfect warriors, and to do that, they make clones. And fun fact, that's where humanity got our regeneration tech, is we just sort of stole it because we're humans and we do that.
Hey, man.
We come across fancy alien tech and we're like, that looks neat.
This is mine
Yoink.
now.
Yeah, this is mine now. And so that's how we got regeneration, which, and in lore, regeneration's only like a couple decades old or something by this point. It's not a very old piece of tech. It's pretty new. And so there's
What if we're
possibly some
stealing
issues.
Vandal souls?
What if we're Vandal?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. What if by taking
Whoa.
this tech and integrating it into our society, right? We've mixed with the Vandal, and now, that's why they're mad because when they believe in rebirth, right? So when they're dying and they're supposed to be reborn, they're actually being reborn into humans. This is a whole like Babylon 5 reference if you're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
getting
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But
I need to get through season 3 still.
broad
I
strokes,
dropped off
broad
a little
strokes.
bit, but yeah.
Okay. But Shvi,
So if you're listening and want to join on the couch, come on over to the Discord server and hop on the Open Comms Live stage, and then raise your hand, and we can let you onto the couch.
Shvi, have you actually engaged any of the Vandal that are in game right now?
Outside of looting their bodies, not really. I stay away.
Okay. Oh, so you weren't being silly. You really just stay. You really just stay away.
I haven't done a lot of tech smuggling, and when I do, I'm just in someone else's ship, just getting ferried around. It's like, yep, I'll be there. Oh, cool. We're just gonna beeline it straight to the little hangar off to the side. Cool.
Have you done the end of Tactical Strike Group?
Yes, I have actually. I couldn't say I've survived the trench run repeatedly.
Most people don't.
Some people survive it, but then they take their helmet off.
I mean, it's better than getting cooked alive inside the trenches.
True.
He did that too. Jar Jar did that too.
Well, I'm just curious if, like I said, they've added the Vandal. They're in ships. You can fight them. Um, at the moment, in my opinion, it doesn't feel any different from just fighting any other NPC. I actually have not gotten to the end of Tactical Strike Group though. Every time I manage to jump in, everyone's just finishing that up, so I haven't seen it. But part of this, do alien lives matter to me? The part of that question is, does it matter to the gameplay of the game? What is it actually bringing anything? And maybe our next caller here might be able to answer that question. Hobo, do you want to bring Mia up here and introduce?
Yep. So there we go.
I'm not going to say I can answer
Okay.
it, but I do have a lot of hopes and dreams about it.
Tell us about
I
your dreams.
We
I
love those
I
here.
Yeah.
really hope that like one day it turns into almost like a Deep Space Nine kind of nod of there's a lot of people on that thing of every race and culture and everything else, and there's people who love them and want to bring them into their house, and then there's people that just want to murder them. You know what I mean? It becomes this very
Yeah.
diverse
Like
group. It
it's like New
becomes
York.
its own like thing. You know what I mean? Even if it's just player driven.
So are you picturing like players being able to play as
No,
aliens?
I don't think we should have that ability. This is Star Citizen, not. I don't know. That's a really
Whoa, whoa.
interesting
Hey,
topic that you've got in my
hey,
head now.
you,
Thank you
are
for that.
you are you saying that aliens cannot be citizens? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? I think I may have hinted
Sounds
that,
a
and
little
that's
xenophobic.
not what I meant.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa,
it's deep.
it is deep. This whole conversation is deep.
There actually are good questions about if the Empire does allow alien citizens or not. Because the Tavaran are like, hey, we got conquered, so we're gonna be like humans now. And then it's like, okay, so we know that the social strata in the Empire is modeled off of the Roman Empire. So there's the split between citizens and non-citizens. And we already know it's hard to get citizenship unless you are, well, rich and already have like parents who are citizens. So what about all those Tavarans? Any of them get citizenship?
So I do happen to know this because I've looked into the lore before that yes, because what the fastest route to citizenship is to serve in the military, right? And there
Right?
are some Tavaran who have earned their citizenship by doing that.
Oh, do you think we're gonna see Tavaran in Squadron 42
Oh, I definitely do. I think
on the ship?
I think it's supposed to be the I thought it was like the Jesus, I can't speak.
Oh,
The weapons specialist or
oh,
something who was going to be a Tavaran.
okay. So so something CIG keeps saying, which I find ridiculous, is that the model we have of the Idris is that model because it's not the Squadron 42 model because there's spoilers on the Squadron 42 model of the Idris, which
Right.
I find ridiculous. But now I'm thinking, do Tavara need special accommodation?
They need a roost
So, yeah, I
or
mean,
a
or
nest.
any other aliens need special accommodations. And is that like one of the spoilers? Is that they have these special accommodations?
I
Hmm?
guess the other question is which route is CIG going? Are we going down the 40K route where the Imperials have accepted cat girls and cat folk as
I hope so.
citizens? Or are we going the route of Helldivers where, yeah, that's Helldivers, where we just turn everything that isn't human into food?
I think going off
There
the
is,
Roman model, we'll probably assume that they will integrate because
yeah,
the Romans did. You know, they would conquer
yeah.
a place, and part of conquering it was introducing Romanization, right? Bringing the Roman way of life and how great citizenship was, and then the local elites would clamor for Roman citizenship and kind of buy into that whole thing, um, which I think the Tavaran kind of did on their own because they had that whole interesting thing with their culture where because they were defeated, they just abandoned their own culture entirely to adopt human culture. I almost said American culture,
Hell yeah.
but
But no, yeah, it certainly seems that way. And now this has me thinking maybe CIG is keeping out of some spoilers. It's going to be something stupid like a bathroom probably, or a toilet, but it'll be or a bed or something like that that has to be slightly different for their physiology. But I think there's maybe something there. I can't imagine honestly what could be a spoiler in the ship, like inside of the ship, like the design of the interior design of the ship. What could possibly be a spoiler for that, other than something like that, something that you couldn't just have as posters or screens that you could just blank out or something for the PU
Your
version.
opinion is that it has to be a funky toilet.
I I think it's a possibility, or a bed, or a seat, or a chair, something that you can't just change on the fly. I guess like a decal or a paint or something.
Interesting.
See, I've assumed
Eh,
that they would be pretty humanoid.
certainly, but that doesn't mean they're the exact same.
Well, Mia, what do you think about the aliens that you've encountered so far?
I'm a little disappointed that they're portraying them all as very aggressive, other than Wicklow. Like
Uh,
end of humankind every time an alien shows up, kind of thing.
so you'd rather us
Well,
befriend
it's
them?
I think there's going to be a split. At
there's
least I
the
hope there is. Like secretly, I
W-
think like all of our alien ships is we befriended some alien at some point, and they showed us the technology and showed us how to build it, versus us just stealing it and reverse engineering it. But that's in my head.
well, a lot of the ships have been just like replicas and designs, but the something like the Merchantman was a case where the Banu were like, "Hey, these weirdos like our ship, so let's just sell them to
Yeah.
them with like design tweaks for humans."
Hmm. Well, I think
But we do need to have more positive interactions with aliens. We have a lot of negative interactions with aliens, mostly being the Vandal, but they're the Vandal, so they're easy. And
Who's our
Piccolo.
alien that we get for
Oh, Piccolo.
the holiday thing? That I'm drawing a complete blank on at the moment.
Oh, I think
Luminalia.
that's yeah, Luminelli is a
That's a Banu holiday.
yeah, yeah.
Banu, that was it.
Yeah.
It's a
So
gift giving holiday, so we
the
got the
Banu are
Banu.
friendly because they're just chill merchants out. Well, I don't know. The Banu is I find their parts of their society really weird. Like they're these friendly, eclectic, semi-religious merchants, right? But then we know that they're also slavers and that they've sold lots and lots of human slaves. I mean, I say we. I know this like it's in the lore. If you watch some of the YouTubers out there who cover the lore, it's in there, and you're like, well, that's kind of weird. Um, Maybe they have different ideas on it. Like it's all indentured servitude. It's not what they call chattel slavery, where if you have a kid as a slave, that kid is also a slave. Uh, but I don't know, it doesn't seem to fit with their positive
I
vibes.
don't remember this part of their lore.
Oh, that they're slavers? Yeah. And if you go into the lore of like some of the ship and weapons manufacturer people in the game, there are a few who were actually Banu slaves, and like learned some of their skills and stuff while they were doing that. And then once they had their freedom, they went off to start their own companies.
Yeah, I wrote a backstory
Hmm.
of my character, but this is going back into like 2018, 19. And it was kind of on the basis of she has all of this technology that she knows, and now that the crafting is in play, but it was just like stolen from alien places where she lived and hid out, kind of thing.
Hmm, yeah, I went back and I looked at an old Dave Haddock post from 2017. Oy. And yeah, they're about they do the slavery. It's
Mhm.
although Dave Haddock says it's closer to indentured servitude, which is
It makes more
yeah, it's
sense.
better.
Yeah.
It
It's
makes more sense. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense
slavery
for their
light.
Yeah, it is certainly closer to slavery light than full chattel slavery, which yeah. But yeah, it does seem like I can see from the lore perspective and the banner perspective, this is just another kind of transaction. It fits with their mercurial nature of being they'll buy and sell
Anything.
just about anything.
Well, speaking of aliens, the Xi'an are interesting because they're very long-lived and patient. And our next caller reminds me of the Xi'an quite a bit. Why don't we bring him up here? Wicket, join us on the couch and tell us, do alien lives matter?
Citizens, longtime listener, occasional caller, and alien lives do not matter at all.
All right,
Um,
I'm
Straight out of the gate.
reporting you to the advocacy right now.
listen,
You're going on a list,
all
buddy.
and let's step outside of the inside the game world for a moment, and let's just look at typical MMOs. Anytime there's a non-human playable race, they're just going to be fodder for some sort of mission or some kind of narrative or something, and they'll be abused to no end. It's usually the way it goes. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here, but form follows function. Everything's kind of human centric, and unless we have playable alien races that we can play as a player character, I don't think they'll matter much at all.
I have a theory long down the line, we're talking 5-10 years or whatever, there'll be the alien expansion for the PU, and that will introduce playable aliens.
For
But
money.
that's from my, well, yeah. But that'll be a long time out.
And
But I think that'll be something they do someday to spice up the game.
the other thing you have to keep in mind is humanity and people, we have a tendency to anamorphize everything to make it, a head, 2 arms, legs, and just kind of make, give it a little human soul, or give it a human bent, cutify it, or make it more palatable to the human. What I think is would be, hopefully, that what they do is they don't go that route when it comes to creating the humans. Holy shit, I just got on the elevator and there's a guard on the elevator in the hospital. I have not seen that before. That
It's
is
the advocacy.
They found me out.
They're coming for you.
I'm just leaving the hospital, man. I had to get my broken arm fixed.
You got reported.
Well, he's not brandishing his weapon at me, just towards me, and they let me go. So, but what I mean by that is that you were talking about slavery and slavers and all this stuff, right? Well, what if that is the way that race or that alien ecosystem works? They have a hierarchy, and maybe they're hive based, or they have worker drones, and it doesn't have to necessarily be what our stratification of society that we have in humanity. It can be something totally different, and it can be totally acceptable. Maybe it is slaves. Maybe there is a hierarchy. Maybe there's a top tier. This is a long-standing sci-fi narrative for a lot of alien races. And then another long-standing sci-fi narrative is when these alien races and finally encounter humanity, and humanity has to somehow deal with, oh my God, they're racist slavers, and and then they try to change them, and it always ends in misery for both sides.
So you're
So
saying we are being too ethnocentric. The UEE is a Homo sapiens only club,
well,
and
it seems
we need to
like it.
stop enforcing our morals
The
onto the
only
Banu.
the only alien we've seen so far is old Wicklow, and they threw him in a little rock palace. They won't even let him walk the streets of Hurston or Orson. They won't even let him out of his little cave. Uh,
Maybe he can't walk. Maybe he's disabled. That's why we never see his bottom half.
well, that may be true, but what would keep him, from flaunting his wares downtown Orson or Hurston or Microtech? It's
Because
it's
he's shy.
it seems sort of counterproductive,
Well, do you
or
feel
maybe
like
he's
the
not
aliens?
allowed. Maybe the UEE doesn't allow him to leave his little nest. We don't know.
Would you
Maybe
say,
they're
Wicked,
being
that the aliens are adding anything to the game for you at this time?
not me personally. No. I mean, well, let me reel that back a little bit. A little bit of something now that we're fighting Vandul every now and then, but they're not very good pilots.
They were a lot more dangerous early on. I remember that they had their ships, and I don't think they properly nerfed them back like on the PT or whatever, or early on in live release. So they were a threat. Like they were dangerous because they had like player level ships, so no nerf, normal components with their AI actually functioning. They were a threat.
I think we need more of
And
that.
then I
Yeah,
agree 1,000%.
agreed.
It
Like
shouldn't.
I want the Vandal to be a threat.
I mean, there should obviously should be some cannon fodder enemies that low level pilots. Once you're first starting out, you're able to have some success and teaches you a little bit of something. But then as the mission levels go up and as the mission rewards increase, there should definitely be some danger and there should be some difficulty. I mean, there is to some
Agreed.
extent now to some of that, but it's just because we're
Usually it's just
trying
numbers,
we're trying to
right?
take light,
Yeah.
medium, single seat ships, and we're fighting these larger ships, and they're just bullet sponges as far as we're concerned, and it takes forever, and it's a pain in the ass. But that's exactly how it should be.
I think every
Uh,
time a Vandal ship silhouette shows up on your scanners, you should shit yourself a tiny bit.
I kind of
Yes. Your food bar should go down, and there should be an increase in stinkiness. Like it's just get that
I wish
hygiene game playing.
the Mauler was like the Kobayashi Maru, where it shows up at the end of TSG, and you just need to get the hell out of there because you can't win.
The Mauler should be
Yeah.
scarier. Right now,
I still
it's
haven't
a
seen them.
coin flip if it's it's big, spiky, and when it uses its laser, it's scary. But it only seems to use its laser on
And it
bigger
only shoots
targets.
straight ahead.
So,
well, if
yeah.
you remember the TSG event when they first introduced that to us, and they gave us that footage that they showed us, it seemed like we weren't going to be able to just roll up with a Idris or our biggest ship that we have access to and just take care of business. But that's not how it ended up being. We do roll up in the Idris or whatever else we want to bring, and everything just works just fine.
As long as you keep your distance from the station.
Yeah, and well, I mean, you know, even the dumbest Star Citizen will finally learn to keep their distance.
After they get zapped that first
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I mean, it's not the steepest learning curve, I would say. But I think just like every MMO that has different races, whether it's a fantasy MMO or like our beloved game, it's a sci-fi space-driven MMO. There are always have different races, and some of those races, most games they try to equalize everybody, especially if those races are playable. Because obviously, who wants to play the lesser race that is incapable of hanging in with the superior race, if there is such a thing in that game. So they always equalize everything. But in a game like ours, where we don't have that, we don't have playable aliens at this time. I just see them being plot devices and maybe mission givers at some point. Maybe in the future they'll start slow, and you can, let's say if you don't like the UEE and you want to side with some other faction, and one of those other factions may be an alien race that, who knows, maybe in the long distant future, if this game ever comes out, we may have some wars. And depending on what side of the line you're on, are you with the aliens or are you with the humans? And that's more or less a faction system later on. And then based on the faction you're with, that determines what you have access to. Like, the humans can all come to UEE space, but you're not welcome in Vanduul if Vanduul become a faction, for as an example. And I could see that happening, and that could be a really cool avenue that the game could go down, and it could tie into missions, PvE, PvP, all kinds of stuff, But, well, hell, first they got to make a mining tool that works every time.
I was just gonna say, we get into the theory crafting sometimes on these cool things, and sometimes it's like, man, how long is this road? Like, am I gonna be as old as Wicket, when I finally see some of this stuff? Because I don't know if
Well,
I'm gonna last that
well,
long, I'll be
here's the
honest with
question
you.
you should ask yourself. When you're as old as I am, will you still be interested in playing freaking video games?
Probably.
Maybe.
Actually,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
I think our
I think our
I think a lot
generation,
of these
Well,
yeah.
see, I've
like,
had a lot of, I'll give you a personal example real quick. I've had a
uh-oh.
lot of friends that I, played games with 15, 20 years ago. And as they matured and got older, this just became irrelevant. They timed out. They didn't care about it anymore. They had other interests, and that's just part of aging. And your interests will change. Your patience will change. Your clock is ticking.
Sure. But I think our generation, I mean, like, I'm saying our, like, the 30s, 40s and stuff, people now who's makes up most Star Citizen gamers. I, my goal for us is to be the most interesting uh, group of people in the retirement home. Like,
Well,
I
right
hope we're
now
all
you're
sitting
I
around,
think we'll pull it off.
right
playing
now
Xbox
you
360
guys
and,
are leaning into being the most whiniest group ever. I can tell you that.
oh Christ, here we go.
All
Spoken just like
right, old
every
man.
other generation before you.
Hey man, that's my prerogative.
Kids these days.
Once you get a level
Yeah,
of
they're so complaining and whiny. Music sucks.
once you get a level of seasoning, you get to have that right.
Stop yelling at that cloud, old man.
Say what you
Well,
want.
at
You'll
least we
see.
know where his position is for the aliens.
You'll
We
see.
do know. We do know. Okay.
But you see what I'm saying? The alien thing, it could go a lot of different ways. But right now, their aliens are irrelevant, and they're basically, they don't matter besides the
So
wicker
we've
room.
heard. I I formed a question while Wicket was talking, and he answered it already. So I'll ask the others. What do you want from aliens? Treat?
For them to pop out of the ceiling and scare the shit out of me when I'm going through a Starfarer that's wrecked.
Ah,
Okay,
okay.
fair. I've thought about that before too. Is to have a real
How-
xenomorph hunting you kind of
But,
situation on a
are you
starfarer.
referring
I
to
was thinking
the
reclaimer.
are you referring to the non-sentient races? Like, you wanna have more interactions with alien life forms, or do you mean
in
like
in
a Banu popping
FPS,
out?
in FPS, because as it stands right now, we're kind of stuck in this.
Some bison
Oh,
meat.
we're going up against Vanduul in a scythe or glaive,
Yeah.
or whatever, and it doesn't, as much as Hobo has mentioned, it doesn't feel like it's anything different other than different ship. Air quote, it's an alien. There's no different flight styles outside of the AI being janky, but that's a completely different story. But if we had to be able to encounter them in game on foot, I think that would make it much different, because my understanding, the Vandul, they're like 7-8 feet tall. They're Spartans from the Halo games tall. Like, we get dwarfed easy. We're just the regular Joe Schmo. Granted, we're also the 1% that actually has ships, but we're nothing special against them. Where they're there, we've seen the damage that they can do at least in the trailers, the previews, the videos, even the walkthrough of the Squadron 42 opening remaster, so to speak, last year, 2 years ago now. And you're walking around, it shouldn't be something as like, oh yeah, it's just another guy. If I'm aiming for the head, I'm aiming at his gut, basically. And I think that would terrify a lot more players where, oh, this guy's twice the size of me, he's coming at me in full charge with a lance. Either think fast or you're dead.
Looking at our Twitch comments, we have Meme Dog and another one by Meme Dog and another one by Meme Dog. Oh, look, another one by Meme Dog. Meme Dog says, Wicklow gave me Titan suit cope, so he's eating my book, and he wants to see a Dr. George cooking show.
And
there was also a Doctor Who episode, because he's British, so of course they got to mention Doctor Who, about, I believe it was What Makes a Human or something about that.
Yeah.
The comment was from a while ago. And he also said Cousin Crow was a Banu slave.
So there you go.
Interesting. Mia, what do you want to see from aliens?
I want to see him become more part of society, and not just, like Wicked said, just a side character. I want good
So how
ones.
does it
I want
become
bad
part of
ones.
society? Okay.
And I don't feel
Well,
I
it
don't
looks
feel
like
we
we
should
have.
be able to play alien races. I think it'll change the whole way the game works, in my opinion.
Understandable. Well, it looks like we have another guest in the lobby. Let's let them in. Guest needs a little introduction. It's Broccoli Rob.
Let's go
Hey,
ahead and
Broccoli
get it.
Rob. Do alien lives matter?
Yes, I do think so.
Ooh, that's a first, I think, so far, basically. Tell us, Broccoli Rob, why do they matter?
I think because they're a part of the universe, and as we're approaching 1.0, they're going to, all of them are going to become more of a focus, or at least a part of the larger universe, or the larger
How do you think that's
storyline.
going to happen?
Well, I mean, there's already, like, we have Wicklow, we have, that's it for now, but we have Vandal. But I think what I would want to see them be are more like factions that you can side with, that kind of have their own motivations that you can work for, instead of just like, hey, we're your friendly mercenary guild, we're your friendly security guild, and you can work for us, and there's no anything. Like, I want to see like a Xi'an, there's like the Outlaw guild that the Xi'an have, and I want to see them working against like a more form. I want to see factions interacting with each other more, and I think there are enough alien factions in there that we can bring them into the fold. I was thinking about this question a little bit. There could, like, so Xi'an look at humanity as like very immature and hostile. It's like they gave a 12-year-old a gun, or someone gave a 12-year-old a gun, and you're like, okay, kid, I need you to set that down. And they're like, why? Go fuck yourself. Like, why do you want this? What if I shoot you? Like, what are you going to do if I shoot you? Because they live to be like 600 years old, I want to say. So they've been watching, like, there are people who might be alive still who remember when the Xi'an and humanity first met. and watched the entirety of the Cold War throughout their lives. And now they're looking at like, I don't know, what, 20, 25 rulers since they met us. And each one's fucking lunatic, or half of them are lunatics that are trying to start wars with them. So there could be like a Xi'an sort of shadow corp that's working to destabilize the UEE so that they can defang the UEE and sort of make them more amenable to the universe.
Just put the fucking gun down, kid.
Exactly. We're an immature, hostile new guys on the block that keep wanting to start fights with the Xi'an, and the Xi'an are like, you need to chill out. You need to chill the fuck out, please. Please stop being so hostile to
I
us.
got the impression that the Xi'an might consider us useful because there's some other race on the other side of the Xi'an who they've been at war with for like centuries, and
It's probably why they haven't like just tried to snuff us out
yeah,
entirely,
and
because
they're also sharing tech
they're
now.
busy.
They're sharing tech with
Yeah.
us. So I that's what I'm like thinking they're like, these violent little stupid monkeys might prove useful as some cannon fodder.
There's probably a lot of internal debate within Xi'an society and in their government about going back and forth between, all right, humanity is a threat, but we need them because this other thing, which is probably just replicators from Stargate, if I had to guess, because
Mm.
that
Yeah, we
that's
don't
how
have
all the
that yet.
sci-fi
Yeah.
tropes always go. It's robot enemies. It's going to be a rogue AI enemy type, and because
I hope
yeah,
not.
I've accepted that. I've just accepted the
I
fact
want
that
it
it's
to be the
probably going
lion
to be.
guys from the Wing Commander movie. We don't have
Yeah, I
lion
mean,
aliens in Star Citizen,
no.
right?
So, and we need it. We've got everything else. I think
Yeah.
from
We got turtles, we got birds, we got beef jerky guy. We got giant scary bite face person. We need kitty. We need kitty guy.
Kitty. We need space
Space
kitties,
kitties.
who I'm assuming are going to be very violent and dangerous.
Yeah, unless you throw a ball of yarn at them.
Yeah, and the Xi'an
Now
just
that's
can't comprehend
racist.
that concept.
Yeah, the cats and turtles have always been mortal enemies.
True.
I forget where I learned that. There's something. It's a cartoon? I don't know.
Well, we've come up roughly close to our hour, so if anyone else wants to hop on the couch, make it quick.
This is your chance. We're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon. Wow. At this time, at the end of the show, we usually go around. We ask everyone if they've got anything they want to share. We usually go in reverse order. Hopefully, Hobo has been paying attention to what
Oh
order
God.
people came up on.
Yeah,
I called it
I
first.
think I remembered. Ah, okay. Broccoli Rob. That one was easy. Do you have anything you want to add before we
No, no,
do the
you gotta,
usual
you gotta
spiel?
do the thing.
Because no, it still had time. He just got here.
Oh, just that I think that alien factions that aren't necessarily pro UEE or anti UEE would be cool, because I feel like that's the lens of, we are looking at every faction through that lens. And I think that bringing foreign governments into it would make it a little more nuanced, instead of like, I'm an outlaw with a thick ass British accent because I'm an outlaw, or I'm a good guy because I love the government. I think that having a outlaw Banu Suli, or a like shadowy Xi'an government that might be working for the UE, might not be, would be cool, and I think would bring a little bit more Y into the game.
Oh, certainly. We need a lot more of that why. Like, we talk a lot about the why for the basic mechanics and stuff, but I don't think we talk about it enough for kind of that story side of things. And I think the big problem with that is because all the story stuff's going towards Squadron 42. That's where they want you to experience the story of the verse. And I think that's kind of been a letdown for the last 10-ish years, is that most of the lore and story that we've interacted with has been in just web form and
Yeah.
web pages, in
Yep.
text, sometimes video, but mostly text.
I love lore. I love history stuff, and it is a little hard to access. I want it in the game. I want it in my mobiGlass in the game.
I want to affect it. I want to live it.
A little bit
Yeah.
different approach. A little bit
Yeah,
different
yeah.
approach
Yeah.
to that is I'm glad we're only getting some of this lore through webisodes or websites and stuff, because this, like, we talked about this briefly. I can't remember if it was just in comms in the guild or if it was on one of these shows, but how this current alpha that we're playing, it's kind of like a prelude to what's going to happen when the game releases. And I would hope that instead of just data dumping on us about who all these people are and who these alien races are, we discover it as we go when 1.0 releases. It
True.
I mean, yeah, we could have some background info, but I wouldn't want it too fleshed out. I think we should that's great narrative
You don't want all the secrets
devices.
to be
Yeah.
revealed and then go,
Yeah,
okay, now
yeah.
we're gonna wipe your
It's kind of
character.
like,
Nothing new
oh, the
discovered.
new patch comes out and everybody jumps on PTU, and then everybody already knows everything about the game. It's like nothing. It's like irrelevant that the PU's here, except for it's just going to be another PTU that's got more people in it and it's broken.
It's going to be perfect. Wicked. It's going to
Of
be zero
course.
bugs.
Yeah.
No
No
latency.
flaws.
No lag. Okay.
Of course.
No
Everything works.
desync will be a thing of the past.
Listen,
Mhm.
listen. Before I jumped on the couch, I was with our English buddy Meme, and we were looting. Well, we were Satyrix QV breaker station runs, and the amount of times that I've done several of them today, and the amount of times that I've had to Alt F4 to fix my inventory, Alt F4 to fix my mining handheld. The amount of I have to carry multiple pyro multi-tools with me because they constantly glitch out, and then you have to swap them. The amount of different stuff I've had to do just to loot said Satyrix, it's just been crazy. And
Speaking of Meme Dog, he's in chat, and he, quote, "need Tavaran husband." Those are some interesting tastes you got there,
I
pal.
literally stepped away from the computer for like 3 seconds to open the door for my cat. What did I just miss in those 3 seconds?
He desires a Tavaran husband. Meme Dog does.
Okay, we don't
I
discriminate.
bet you they'd be really caring husbands.
Very protective,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
is that
They're
the ones that
very...
go in the sink?
What?
No, that's the Xi'an, I think.
I used to be a Sulin owner, and somebody told me that the thing that's the sink is actually the bathroom.
Yeah. Yes, that is correct. The Xi'an are the ones that deposit their waste in a
Gift wrap.
fixture that is very similar to a sink.
They find it silly the way humans wash their
See,
hands in it. Is that what you're saying?
see, special things like that should be, you should just be on a mission one day and you meet this dude that's this alien, and it's like, oh, give me a second, I gotta take care of my business over here. I see you have a toilet right here in your kitchen. That would be awesome.
Okay.
I think that's a wonderful place to end the show. Broccoli Raw, do you have anything you'd like to say to CIG, Chris Roberts, or the people on the internet?
Keep lore vague-ish as it is, because not as someone who loves lore and aliens and all that, I don't think it should be required reading, and I think it should be something that people have to dig into. That's all.
Understandable. Wicket, anything you would like to say to the people on the internet, Chris Roberts, or CIG. Those three categories,
And all of those
without
three.
and only those three, and excluding one particular member of the CIG staff.
Well, first of all, hopefully, Chris Roberts, you've calmed down after your birthday a few weeks ago, and hopefully you're getting back to work because we really need you steering the ship because 4.8, 4.81, we're crashing on the rocks over here, buddy. We need your help. We need you to, it's playable. It's okay, but my God, as much time as we have to spend in some of these activities, it's a real buzzkill when something breaks and you've just wasted 3 hours of your life. And I understand it's alpha, I understand it's testing, but come on, Chris Roberts, come on, CIG, and people of the internet, help them remember. And Sandy, just give the old man a nudge to get his shit back together. Thank you.
Sweet. Anything you would like to say to
You
Chris
missed
Roberts,
my
CIG, or the people on the internet? But you were second.
Mio was after Street. Street was number 1.
Oh,
right?
He was? Oh, okay. Maya, anything you would like to say to Chris Roberts, CIG, or the people on the internet?
Never stop. Yeah, things are rough. Where it's going. I drank the Kool-Aid.
Nice.
We're here
True
on a
believer.
Star Citizen call-in show. We all drank the Kool-Aid.
But I 100% agree with Rob. Like you said that no one else agreed that the aliens should be friendly, and I disagree with that. That's not what I said. I'm 100% on what Rob is on, where they should be an integral part of it with a very vague lore that we need to discover on our own or come up with on our own. I really love that concept.
Yeah. All right. Treat, anything you would like to say this time now to CIG, Chris Roberts, or the people on the internet?
Even though I have had all this time to think of, I'm just going to bounce off Rob. Make the lore as world building friendly as possible. Don't give it to us on paper. Well, some stuff on paper, notepads, leave it in the environment, similar to like what Hollow Knight did, where you just show up and it's like, what in God's name happened here? And there's like 40 bodies, 60 ships all destroyed, and a guy with an SRV towing them all out. Let the world build in that manner where just let events happen and then piece things together from there. Beyond that, enjoy the weekend. Work till the weekend, enjoy the weekend.
It's Wednesday.
I know. It's the weekend for someone.
It's June. The weekend comes early in June.
Yeah. The sun comes up early. I guess the weekend comes up
Yeah.
early.
Technically.
Well, Duke,
We did it.
we did it.
You and me, hobo.
Yep, me and you.
You and me.
No stinking Gungan.
No Gungan. No Misa. Yeah, no, we don't need that
No,
crap.
none of that shit.
See, we don't. Jar Jar doesn't really bring
Just
anything special to this. We don't really need him.
Yeah, like, come on. We can do this all day.
I mean,
I
I can't
want-
wait to see his porn remake of what did I say, Pride and Prejudice.
I think you did Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, that's going to be good though.
Yeah, I think you'll have a nice artistic spin to it.
Yeah.
I hear he's shooting on location in London.
I hear he's shooting all over the place. It's going to be good.
Hey-o.
Hey-o, zinger.
All right. Well, I'll do the
Do the thing.
song, I
Do the
guess.
song. Play us out.
What am I supposed to stop?
You just kind of keep going.
All
And then
right, I ended the
eventually,
stream.
eventually the stream ends and then we're good.